8:45. This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. Here is a news edited by Lakshman Fonseca and read by J. Yogaraj. First, the headlines. Justice Minister says the country cannot be governed according to the will of a foreign nation. President's Media Division says some social media platforms attempted to misinterpret the administrative changes being made by the new secretary to the President. A trial run of an Indian air-conditioned diesel multiple-unit train is successful. The Health Ministry says 9,609 dengue patients reported from the Western Province so far. A circular to be instruct government institutions and departments to take steps to use electricity and fuel sparingly. The Public Utilities Commission says that a scheduled power cut would likely to be imposed only within the southern province tomorrow. News overseas, the UK government announces people with COVID-19 will not be legally required to self-isolate in England. And those are the headlines. And now we move on to the stories in detail. Justice Minister Ali Sabri says the country cannot be governed according to the will of a foreign nation. He said the country should be governed according to the constitution and by the policies elected by the general public. At a special interview with SLBC, he added that the government will not take decisions to please overseas human rights watchdogs or any other foreign parties irrespective of the constitution of Sri Lanka. President's Media Division says some social media platforms have attempted to misinterpret the administrative changes being made with the appointment of a new secretary to the President. In a statement, it said President's Media Division says such posts are totally fabricated. The PMD said, with the appointment of Gamini Senrath as the secretary to the President, several structural changes are being made to make the functions of the Secretariat more efficient. It added new officers have been appointed to the positions in units that serve the people directly, including the President's Fund and the Public Relations Division, and changes are being made to accelerate the public service. A trial run of an Indian air-conditioned diesel multiple-unit DMU train in Sri Lanka has been successful. Officials from the High Commission of India and the Sri Lanka Railways have travelled aboard the air-conditioned train on its successful trial run. The Railway Department says the air-conditioned DMU has been supplied under $318 million line of credit from India. The first AC DMU supplied under this scheme was put into operation on 9th of January. The scheme also includes the upgradation of the railway tracks and other mutually agreed projects in accordance with the request and requirements of the Government of Sri Lanka. This news comes to you from Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. Consultant Community Dr. Anoja Veerasinghe says 9,609 dengue patients have been reported from the Western Province so far. She added, among which 48% patients were recorded from the Colombo district. Addressing a press briefing at the Health Promotion Bureau in Colombo, she added that the people with fever should seek medical advice within 24 hours. She also recommended to get the medical test done as soon as possible, as accurate test results can be obtained when the test is done, no sooner a person gets fever. Dr. Anoja also said that a large number of dengue patients have been reported from Jaffna, Puttalam, Galle, Trincomalee, Ratnapura and Batticaloa. A circular is to be issued instructing government institutions and departments to take steps to use electricity and fuel sparingly. Secretary to the Ministry of Public Services, Provincial Councils and Local Government, J.J. Ratnasiri, says that the relevant circular will be issued tomorrow. He said the instructions to use electricity and fuel sparingly are reportedly being issued at the request of the Public Utilities Commission of Sri Lanka in light of the prevailing power crisis in the country. Accordingly, state institutions and departments are to be instructed to minimize the use of air conditioners and unnecessary lights as much as possible. The Public Utilities Commission of Sri Lanka says that a scheduled power cut would likely be imposed only within the southern province tomorrow. Chairman of the Commission, Janaka Ratnayaka, says that there would be no need for power cuts in other areas tomorrow due to sufficient fuel reserves are available. At a press briefing held today, he said that a power cut of around 4 to 5 hours would have to be imposed tomorrow. He added the exact schedule would be announced before 12 noon tomorrow. He said the Ceylon Electricity Board and the Public Utilities Commission were able to resolve the matter with great effort and thereby avoid going for a very long power cut. And that's local news.
The main news story is brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya.
A trial run of an Indian air-conditioned diesel multiple unit DMU train in Sri Lanka has been successful. Officials from the High Commission of India and the Sri Lanka Railways travelled aboard the air-conditioned train on its successful trial run. The Railway Department says the air-conditioned DMU has been supplied under $318 million line of credit from India. The first AC DMU supplied under this scheme was put into operation on the 9th of January. And that was top news.
The main news story was brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya.
This is Watchlight.
In Watchlight, Ministry of Health warned that patients with chronic diseases and other complications should be concerned about the Omicron variant of the COVID-19 virus. Consultant family Dr. Malkanti Galhena, the head of the Health Ministry's Integrated Home-Based Care Program, stated that most families have more than one person infected with the Omicron variant today. And that was Watchlight.
Coming up, World News.
In world news headlines, first, Russia keeps troops in Belarus amid Ukraine fears. China and Saudi Arabia had the highest rates of smartphone use, new study reveals. The UK government announces people with COVID-19 will not be legally required to self-isolate in England. And those are the headlines of the world news. Russian President Vladimir Putin and his ally, Belarusian leader Alexander Lukashenko, have extended military drills which were due to end today. The deterioration of the situation in East Ukraine was cited in a Belarus statement as one reason for keeping about 30,000 Russian troops there. The move will add to fears that Russia plans an invasion of Ukraine, which shares a long border with Belarus. Western leaders have accused Moscow of seeking a pretext to send in troops. A new study has revealed that nations with highest rates of smartphone addiction, researchers at McGill University used data on smartphone use between 2014 and 2020 from nearly 34,000 participants in 24 countries around the world. China, Saudi Arabia and Malaysia had the highest rates of smartphone use, and they found. Germany and France had the lowest. However, the UK only ranked 16th out of 24 nations, while the US was even further behind, ranked 18th. The UK government has announced people with COVID-19 will not be legally required to self-isolate in England starting in the coming week. Prime Minister Boris Johnson said ending all the legal restrictions are brought in to curb the spread of the virus will let people in the UK. But some of the government's scientific advisors said it was a risky move that could bring a surge in infections and weaken the country's defences against more horrible virus effect. West-Streeing health spokesman from the main opposition Labour Party on Sunday accused Johnson of declaring victory before the war is over. And that was World News.
Development News is brought to you by Let's take coal out of the coconut tree and make the island thriving and prosperous. Call our hotline 1928. WhatsApp 070-400-1928.
Sri Lanka Handicraft Board, popularly known as Luxella, has taken measures to open its new showroom in China. In a media release, Luxella said the showroom going to be opened on the 6th, and this will be the 6th franchise showroom launched by the Sri Lanka Handicraft Board. The signing of the partnership took place at the State Minister of Batik, Handloom and Local Apparel Products, Dayasri Jayasekara, and Sri Lankan Ambassador in China, Palitha Kohana, Secretary to the Ministry Janaka Dharmakirti, Luxella Chairman Lakmal Vikramarachchi, and Jason Wong from Alia Sleep Technology Company Limited, China, were also present at this occasion. And that was Development News.
Development News was brought to you by the coconut tree is well grown in almost all the parts of the island. It is an exceptional source of extra income. The shell, the husk and almost all the parts of the coconut tree makes you money, providing you with an excellent extra source of income. It will also help to nourish the economy of the country. You will be guided with all necessary informations regarding the coconut cultivation, with the novel cultivation techniques and all other related and upgraded informations by the Coconut Research Institute, Lunavilla. Call our hotline 1928. WhatsApp 070 400 1928. Sports News is brought to you by
Sampath Bank. We present your future.
Tennis. Sri Lanka's tennis girls have finished unbeaten and qualified to the next round to be held in Thailand. They crushed Nepal 3-0 in the 14 and under ITF World Junior Asia qualifying round played at the SLTA courts yesterday. The two singles and doubles matches were won easily by the Sri Lankan lasses when they defeated their opponents without giving away a single set. And that was Sports News.
Cash through NSP globally and win wonderful gifts locally. From October 1st, 2021 to December 31st, 2022. Remit a minimum of $100 or an equivalent amount in any foreign currency 3 times through NSB U Trust.
Business News, sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
The third webinar of the series focusing on supporting sustainable trade and investment between Sri Lanka and the Netherlands will be held on the 1st of March. The webinar is mainly based on the practical information on doing business and finding partners in the Netherlands.
Business News, sponsored by
Cash through NSP globally and win wonderful gifts locally. Will you be the lucky winner of the NSP Golden Jubilee? 50 gold sovereigns for the top prize winner of the NSP Golden Jubilee. Scooters for the 10 second prize winners. iPhones for the 10 third prize winners. Mountain bikes for the 29 fourth prize winners. From October 1st, 2021 to December 31st, 2022. Remit a minimum of $100 or an equivalent amount in any foreign currency 3 times through NSB U Trust.
Economic News, courtesy of
Saving money isn't easy when you have responsibility. That's why we promise to give you the best returns and guarantee on your investment. LOLC Finance Fixed Deposits. Maximize your savings. LOLC Finance PLC, incorporated on the 13th of December 2001, is rated SLA stable by ICRA Lanka Limited and is licensed by the Monetary Board of the Central Bank of Sri Lanka under the Finance Business Act number 42 of 2011.
State Minister Lasantha Alagiawana says the government is planning to make all commodities readily available and ready to price control. He said no shortage of sugar and rice in the market today. He added the government has already taken measures to appoint interministerial committee to address these issues in the verge of the Sinhala and Hindu New Year. Addressing a gathering at a function held in Talawakale, Minister said some traders are trying to make fake shortage intending to make more profit.
I bought my daughter a laptop for her work by managing my finances. Whatever the expenses may be, I can't afford to miss out on life's special moments like her birthday or our anniversary. So you need to invest to make your family's future flourish.
Saving money isn't easy when you have responsibilities. That's why we promise to give you the best returns on your investment. LOLC Finance Fixed Deposits. Maximize your savings. LOLC Finance PLC, incorporated on the 13th of December 2001, is rated SLA stable by ICRA Lanka Limited and is licensed by the Monetary Board of the Central Bank of Sri Lanka under the Finance Business Act number 42 of 2011.
The weather report.
The Met Department says showers or thundershowers may occur at several places in central and Uva provinces and in Hambantota district during the evening or night. Mainly fair weather will prevail elsewhere. Misty conditions can be expected at some places in western, Sabarakamu and central provinces and in Galle and Mathura districts during the morning hours. Before we wind up this news broadcast, let's look at the main points once again. Justice Minister says the country cannot be governed according to the will of a foreign nation. President's Media Division says some social media platforms attempted to misinterpret the administrative changes being made by the new secretary to the President. A trial run of an Indian air-conditioned diesel multiple unit train is successful. The Health Ministry says 9,609 dengue patients reported from the Western Province so far. a circular to instruct government institutions and departments to take steps to use electricity and fuel sparingly. The Public Utilities Commission says that a scheduled power cut would likely be imposed only within the southern province tomorrow. And with that, we conclude this evening news bulletin of Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation.